it's fitting for us first to explain that Vilnius University is not only in Vilnius. That might sound, counterintuitive, but we have faculties in three of the largest cities in the country. Of course, most of our faculties can be found in Vilnius. This is the heart of Lithuania, and so this is where Vilnius University also began. All of our oldest buildings are here. But in Kaunas, we do have our Kaunas faculty that it's only one faculty, but it hosts a variety of programs, not in any specific field, but it hosts both programs of economics or IT and humanities and all these kind of different areas. And Cholet is really the same story as well. We have a faculty there. It's called the Cholet Academy, and there you can also find a variety of programs, both for bachelor's and master's studies. So yeah, so I guess that's like an intro into what's the kind of status of Vilnius University and what it looks like here in the country, and it's definitely not just in Vilnius but across the country.
Let's move on to financial support and different funding opportunities for your students. Well, once you become a student here in Lithuania, you essentially can get different student discounts, but I will talk about those shortly. First of all, I would like to mention that once you apply for studies at Vilnius University, you can also apply for different tuition fee waivers. Those waivers are mostly for the postgraduate students, so for those who apply for master's studies here at Vilnius University. There is a tuition fee waiver from Vilnius University directly from Vilnius University to the applicants that is given out from university. Also, there is a tuition fee waiver for master's studies from a different institution called, in Lithuania, it's called ŠMPF. And it essentially helps a student from different Eastern countries and countries from Asia who applied for studies here at Vilnius University to essentially they pay the cost of the tuition fees, because as we all know, studies at universities, not only at Vilnius University, but essentially in the world and in Europe, they can be quite expensive. Also there is different scholarships from different faculties. As an example, the Faculty of Law gives out a special scholarship for its applicants. There is a scholarship from the Faculty of Economics and Business Administration, and essentially a scholarship for applicants from Ukraine. They can apply for a Grand Duchy of Lithuania scholarship, and it also works essentially as like a tuition fee waiver. All this information is available on the Vilnius University website, not on the application platform. You essentially choose bachelor's or master's studies and go to finances. And I would like to mention that you can apply for tuition fee waivers given out by Vilnius University and its faculties using the DreamApply platform. And for other tuition fee waivers, as I mentioned, ŠMPF tuition fee waiver, you can apply for it using a separate application platform. You can find all this information again using the Vilnius University website. Also, as I said, there are a lot of student discounts. One of the most important discounts that we have here in Lithuania is a discount for public transportation here in Vilnius, because, essentially when you're a student, living here in Lithuania could get expensive. Therefore, this discount is quite useful. You can get this discount once you get a Lithuanian student card. It's called here an LSP. And also you can apply for an international student identity card. Most of you probably know about it already, ISIC, for example. And well, I've included a few steps what you need to do if you want to get the student ID card. But I would just like to mention that before that, you have to officially become a student here at Vilnius University. So let's move on.
All right, and then moving on in this very practical, these practical advices, we'd like to talk about living in Lithuania. First of all, the issue of visas. Just we'd like to mention that it's absolutely necessary for you to have a visa if you're coming from outside of the European Union or just a country that requires you to have a visa to enter. Yeah, and a visa is something that you're able to receive once you're actually accepted into the university. And from this point of view, it's something that, you know, the university provides to you the necessary like mediation letters and everything, but it's only once, you know, you're accepted and you've paid the tuition fee for the first year. So yeah, so here, you know, a very practical kind of piece of advice that we'd give is the earlier applicants start applying, the easier generally this whole process is for them, because visas and visa applications like that can take a while, especially this year, as we've heard that there's some changes in the like Lithuanian embassies and the systems they use for giving out visas, and so we've heard that there's some complications or that it takes longer. So yeah, we do advise to start earlier, get ahead, not leaving it like for the absolute last minute application, and then it takes like 30 days for your application to be processed, and then you get an acceptance letter already past mid of summer, and you don't really leave a lot of time for yourself. Next up, accommodation. Accommodation is provided at Vilnius University in all of the cities that I mentioned. There are, yeah, some different circumstances. Vilnius, for example, in Vilnius, we do have quite a lot of dormitories in various places according to, you know, where your faculty is and what is closer to you. Yeah, but in Kaunas, for example, we don't have like our own dormitories. We share dormitories with another university. It's still like you will get a room and a place for yourself to live in. It's just not going to be like from Vilnius University directly. And in Cholet, we also have our own dormitories. So yeah, and all of the dormitories are provided to students for a rather like symbolic price of around 50 to 60 euros, depending on the place, depending on what size of a room you're taking, if it's like with 3 beds or 2 beds, and depending on just basically how many people you're sharing the room with. So that's the main influence on the price, but still it's quite symbolic considering like normal renting price. So next up, Lithuanian courses. We would just like to advertise that there are Lithuanian courses provided in our like faculty of philology. So everyone is welcome to join those during your study years if you'd like to, you know, learn this beautiful language. Yeah, and physical and emotional health. In that respect, we just would like to say that there are sufficient and plenty of resources for students to not only like take care of their physical and emotional health, but to also thrive in it. There are plenty of sports to choose from in our sports and and health department, and plenty of teams to join as well. So on that end, you can start out here. You can start out your basketball career. Lithuania is very well known for basketball. And yeah, you can really just find, your own mini community to spend time with and have fun, as well as on the emotional health. On that side, we do provide psychological consultations to our students. Yeah, and not only psychological, as well as I forget the name of it, but basically, we do have our own chapel as well, and for those students that need, some spiritual consulting as well, we do provide that. So there's plenty of resources for students to find support, to find their mediums and where they can really shine. So that's all about this. And yeah, again, you can see where you can find more information about all of this in our website.
So let's move on and talk about a different part of Vilnius University, academic and career consulting. Well, as I mentioned, my colleague Andronic and I are working in a students affair and career center. So if once you become a student here at Vilnius University and you have some questions regarding your studies or regarding your future and your professional future, I would like to add, you can always come to our office and register for a consultation and get academic and career guidance as well. You're always welcome here, and we will help you as well as we can. So that's a short notification about that. And yeah, some other opportunities at Vilnius University.
Yeah, so one of them is Smart Internships, a project in which I'm also contributing to right now and working on. And it's quite an interesting proposition from our side. Basically, throughout your years of studying, at any year of your studies, you can join our Smart Internship program, which is basically an opportunity for you to complete an internship through Vilnius University at an organization that is our partner, and you get a challenge with a small team to solve a certain problem or overcome a certain challenge within that organization within like 3 months. And so this team that you join, it's a team of various students from different faculties and programs. And for 3 months, you become a team that's tasked with solving sometimes like a made up problem or challenge for the students. Sometimes you get actual real challenges that the organization is facing that they are seeking out students to help out with. So it's a great opportunity, honestly, to, first of all, kind of do something that's quite meaningful and can be quite influential on your career path, like future career path. It can get you ahead during your studies, because of course every study program involves a mandatory internship. And this is not a mandatory, internship. This is something that you can do just as your own personal investment into your future. Developing certain competencies and skills, and and from the team that I'm managing right now, I see that it's actually a really great resource to use. And another thing that I also have personal experience with, and that's Erasmus. And those of you from the European Union have probably heard about it already, and those who are not, maybe you've heard about it, maybe not. But basically, this is a studies exchange program. Actually, it doesn't have to be a studies exchange. It can also be an internship. But Erasmus is a program that basically supports, it creates a network for students to study abroad for a semester or a full year in different institutions that are part of that network. And it's all kind of within the European Union or European Economic Area. So the way it works is every semester, before every semester starts, Vilnius University announces the application process for studies abroad, and you apply. Hopefully, you get your desired spot in a university of your choosing in a different country. And if everything goes well and the university abroad also accepts you, then you spend half a year in a different country studying in a different university, but still studying, within your field of studies. And the great part about it is that it's not so difficult to actually get to get a scholarship for this. So your living expenses are somewhat covered. It's not completely 100% covered, but you do get support to live in this, to live abroad, to live in another country and study there. And it can just be a great experience, to meet new people, meet new cultures, and maybe expand your academic network as well. So yeah, and this works also not only with studies, but you can also do internships through the Erasmus network. Yeah, and you can even do your mandatory internship through the Erasmus network. You can find an institution somewhere abroad where you want to do an internship, and then through Erasmus, you can get quite significant, quite a substantial financing for that, that can support your living abroad again. So yeah, because as we all know, internships, they're not always paid. So yeah. So yeah, again, all the links are within the slide. You can find more information about this in our website.
And essential part of Vilnius University, is our communities, and we have quite a few of those. Well, essentially, one of the most important, I would say, the most seen communities here at Vilnius University is the student representation. Well, I would not say that it's only a community. It's actually, it works as a full department here at Vilnius University. It's called VOSA, and they are the ones who represent student problems, or they talk about they talk openly about things that students need here at Vilnius University. They point out some problems that need to be solved and that need to change within our academic fields and within our university as a whole. And essentially, they represent everything that is connected with effective studying and fulfilling student life here at Vilnius University. Well, my colleague here talked about Erasmus opportunities, and I would just like to add that if you come here to Lithuania, you can essentially get an Erasmus buddy. Well, it's a student, essentially a person who is living here in Lithuania, and he or she would be the one to help you out here, for example, with coming from the airport and reaching your accommodation, for example, or showing you the faculty or other spaces here at Vilnius University, showing you the city and some additional opportunities that are available to students here, but you may not know, or someone else may forget you to tell about them. We also have a mentors program here at Vilnius University, where you can find a whole platform of different, essentially people from different academic as well as professional fields. And if you, for example, know that you would like to have a career in marketing, but you do not know where to start, you can find a mentor who's working with that field, in that field, and who would help you essentially, for example, to start your marketing career here in Lithuania, and will essentially show you a broader perspective. And lastly, well, there are a lot of opportunities to do extracurricular activities. For example, you can attend a song ensemble. Vilnius University has a few of those. My own colleague joined a song ensemble when she was a student, and she finished her studies already. And she still continues to sing in there. Well, we also have a theater club, and they do essentially make auditions, but they create amazing performances, and well, it's a creative community here in Vilnius University, and well, each faculty has its own community. There's, I believe, a physics club, and well, once you join our faculty here in September, you can learn more about different opportunities to join different clubs. And as always, you can find this information on our Vilnius University website.
All right, and let's talk about our university spaces. Yeah, basically here we would just like to, you know, we have a few photos here to look at the various and very like different places that we have, but basically the university, especially in Vilnius, is very rich in its libraries, its gardens, all kinds of centers, museums, both old and new. The university is constantly expanding, and there's new buildings being built already, like at the moment as well. And here, just in these few photos, you know, we can get glimpses of one of the most modern libraries in all of like the Eastern Europe right now, as well as some of our like, yeah, more like our spaces from like the heritage kind of side, and as well as our like a view of our botanical garden. And yeah, so there's basically a lot to see and a lot to use as well as a student. Many of these spaces are available for use, like especially, again, I'd like to mention this library, like the top picture here. It's a great space for studying. Sometimes events are held here as well, and different kind of conferences. And yeah, and chances are that your own faculty where you'd be studying also has its own like facilities with different resources, maybe its own little library as well. And yeah, so basically, you know, there's many things to see. So we kindly invite those who will be coming for sure to, you know, really use your time well here and use everything to the fullest.
Yes. And now it's time for your questions. I hope you have some, and you can write those questions to the Teams chat, or you can voice them over, and yeah, you can essentially raise your hand, and then we will unmute your microphone. So I will stop sharing my presentation then. And your questions.
Yes. Kizar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm sorry.
Hello, hello. How are you?
We're well, thank you.
Yeah, just I have some questions. Uh, Let me. I wrote some question. I just want to ask. Since I'm looking to continue my master's programs in computers and software engineering, so do you provide scholarship for the first year, or we have to pay the whole fees for the first year before coming in the university? And the second thing I want to ask is that are students allowed to work during their stay for their master program in Lithuania? Or and one last question is that do I have? No, I'm currently in Pakistan. So do I have to give IELTS, or I have a proficiency certificate that says that your medium of study was English? So do I have to give IELTS, or I can apply through my proficiency certificate? Thank you.
Okay, that's a packed question. Question of three questions. Uh, well, I'll maybe go now backwards because I remember the last question the best. First of all, with the English language certification, yes, of course you can apply. And if you know your previous studies, like the language of instruction was English, or you know you work in an English-speaking environment or anything like that, you can provide such like documents attesting to that, and you can skip the whole IELTS or other like English language examinations. We really accept, you know, sufficient proof of English proficiency in other areas as well. Then the second question, what was it about again? Greta, do you remember?
I was asking about how many hours do students are allowed to work.
Yeah, okay, about work. I mean, we don't. Okay, so this is a very interesting question. We always receive like how many hours are students allowed to work, and maybe this is a like a cultural difference or something. But here, you know, no one is kind of limiting you from working in any way. The only technical limit for you is you need to have a temporary residence permit. So a visa is not enough. You have to have a residence permit, and then you can work. In terms of how much, it's up to you. If you can manage with studies, then you can, you know, work as much as you'd like. But this is not something that the university manages.
And sorry, and the last question was about the scholarship. That
Uh,
can I get a scholarship for the first year, or do I have to pay the whole tuition fees for my
yeah,
master?
with this, basically, most of the scholarships or like tuition fees, waivers, and stuff like that, the information about that is usually already available by like June, early June. So yeah, you can wait until then, and you can arrange it with the admissions office that you know you're waiting to know whether you received a certain scholarship that you applied for or not. And then if you didn't, you know, you can pay the tuition fee after that. Yeah, but in terms of scholarships that you can get during the study period, that's already like that doesn't influence your tuition fees basically, and you should still pay the tuition fee fully. And then, you know, if you can manage getting some scholarships during your studies, that's, you know, that's support for you and that's good. But in terms of like whether you need to pay the tuition fee, yes, unless you're waiting for information about certain scholarships or tuition fee waivers that you can get before the studies start. But this is like really only until June.
Thank you very much. These were the questions I wanted to ask you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Ishara, you're next.
Yeah, I am Ishar. Hello, can you hear?
Yep.
Yes.
Can you hear?
Yes.
I
Yes.
am Ishar from Sri Lanka. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity, and this presentation was very interesting for me. I wanted to ask about scholarship earlier, but my question was answered in last question of previous one, and I just want to know one thing. I am going to apply for my masters in next month in Vilnius University. I want to know, should I apply for a scholarship in the same time, or should I apply for a scholarship after applying for the masters? Then my second question is, I have United Kingdom qualifications and for my bachelor's degree, and I am going to study my masters in Lithuania. So will it be a problem, or it will be okay for applying in university?
Well, I would like to answer your first questions about the question about the scholarship. I believe Shuri Academy do not provide a separate scholarship as a faculty for its master's students. I might be wrong. I would have to check this information on the website. We can do that as well. However, you can apply for other tuition fee waivers. One is from Vilnius University and the other one is from Shamakofa. But the last one, it's given out only for international students from certain countries. So it depends which where you're from originally. And your second question was about the study certificate. I believe you asked if it would be okay if you study here at Vilnius University for your master's degree, but you finished the university in the UK. That's right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I already completed my bachelor's at United Kingdom, but I want to do masters in Lithuania. I wanted to ask that those qualification, then I have already earned my bachelor's degree, and now I am in Sri Lanka, and I have UK qualifications. I am applying for masters in Lithuania. So I want to know my qualifications will be acceptable in Lithuania. My UK qualifications will be acceptable in Lithuania.
Yes, well, they should be, but I would like to note that as an applicant, you would still have to fulfill other general admissions requirements, program requirements, and country-specific requirements. As you said, as you mentioned that you come from Sri Lanka, then I believe there are some country-specific requirements for you that you would have to fulfill. But essentially, if you have a finished bachelor's degree, you can easily apply here to studies at Vilnius University.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, are there any other questions? Yes, I can see one in the chat.
So let's answer the one in the chat maybe first.
Belarusian students. If you apply here for studies at Vilnius University, you get a mediation letter with which you can apply for a visa. You do not get a visa automatically if you get accepted here to Vilnius University. You can get a visa once you have this mediation letter, and you need to contact a Lithuanian embassy for that to get your visa.
But in this regard, I would also check the information on the Foreign Affairs Ministry website, because we can always provide to you a mediation letter. That doesn't mean that you can get a visa. As right now, I think the last information I heard is that applicants from Belarus are somehow checked by the Foreign Affairs Ministry as well, or like interviewed or something like that. It's not the same process as for like someone from India or other countries. So and for quite a while I know for sure that there was no opportunity to get any visa for applicants from Belarus. Yeah, so I would check this on our Foreign Affairs Ministry website.
Yes.
And then someone's raising their hand. I guess there's no name, but E, guest.
Yes, hi.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, I'm Eri from Japan, and then thank you for your presentation. And then I have a question about like internship or like exchange study or something. Like you talked about it, and then like obviously I'm non-EU student, so like is it possible for non-EU student to do like study exchange or like internships with like national D visa? I mean like student visa. So yeah, this is my question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't want to say anything right now that like that might not be correct. But in my understanding, generally, yes, like Erasmus and these other opportunities are open to all students of universities that are part of the like Erasmus network. Yeah, but for certain, I would say, you can write an email to us, and once we have like some time to actually check this information for sure and respond to you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Are there any other questions? I've answered one in the chat about the gym. Well, I can voice it because, well, I'm not sure if Šiauliai Academy has a separate gym. We do have a sports center here at Vilnius University, but you could contact the faculty or contact our office, and we will get this information and then answer you.
Yeah. Otherwise in Vilnius there are multiple gyms on campus sites. In Kaunas, I'm also not sure. In Šiauliai, not sure, but I know for sure that in Kaunas and Šiauliai, sports activities and like different trainings are held. It's just that whether there's a dedicated like weightlifting gym, that I don't know exactly.
So, are there any other questions that you would like to ask us?
Someone's typing or not? Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay. So if there are no other questions from you guys, then I would just like to add that you can always contact our office. You can write us using the admissions@cr.vu.lt email. You can find our contacts on the Vilnius University website as well. And there's also an opportunity to register for a consultation with one of our academic consultants. So yeah, thank you for everybody who joined us here today, and have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.